You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my...
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like to expand my horizons a little. What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
Could you teach me?
Why not? But I warn you in advance that it will not come so.
I'd like you to show me some art. You shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
Listen closely, so I don't have to repeat myself.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you.
How you doing?
My God, that looks like a bloody expensive horse.
Why the long face?
Easy. Good horse. Whoa! Whoa!
Careful!
I'm sure he'll find the time to make you something nice. He sews like a master, but he's still just a dude. What a day.
Praise the Lord.
Good day to you.
What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nice.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't...
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What others?
You haven't heard. A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No, one day she just didn't come home. And then I found...
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet?
I haven't.
Then don't. She was such a pretty girl. And it didn't even leave that on...
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that?
So, I'll... So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And it didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. Her face is a little bruised and cut, but she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? And her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. Maybe there's something more to it. These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made... But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits. What did he do with it all after? Did he really keep all the pieces? Just some scratches and bruises. It looks like her attacker would... If he'd had a weapon, she'd have cuts on her hands and forearms. I'll need to examine her some more. Her lips are bloody, but nothing... But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her... So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but then he also cut off most of her... He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. and left her lying there for all to... Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her... I don't know why he killed her.
Christ, take a bath.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me Fran. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue.
You've seen her? Poor thing.
That's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth, or a thumb. You hear?
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one?
No.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating.
Right. You said she wasn't.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best...
Do you remember how many girls...
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the...
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks.
Do you know where the last...
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here.
Look for clues.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the hole in the wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hopring.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle. Though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere.
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's, no. I don't know exactly why, though.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from... Actually, wait a minute. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Bar...
I know.
Aha! Good. It was good to see you, my friend.
Excuse me.
How bad is it?
Well, come to think of it, it's nothing really. Well, greetings to you.
Who else would I be talking to? What is it? Show me your...
We surely are. I hope there's nothing in trouble. I mean, this is a royal city, isn't it? Hurry up. You know how it is with the king's folk days. One is captured, and the other set up an army camp just outside the town. Then let's just hope the lords don't take offense.
careful.
Christ! Pardon me.
for an ass kicking you. Sorry. Bad luck.
That's quite enough.
I brought you the axe.
Not so loud! Did anyone see you? If I have any problems because of you...
What are you afraid of? How could anyone tell that that missing horseshoe is in the axe?
Are you trying to make a fool of me, or what? Don't come back until you have that axe. Till we meet again. Excuse me.
Pavel, the owner of the local inn, I assume?
That I am. What do you want from me? Farewell, and take a bath for goodness sake. You look awful.
Nailing a few planks of wood and nailing them together. Get hold of some wood.
It happened.
Just which way you're going. Quality goods. The finest wares. A fine day for some fine wares.
That won't make you a fool. Gute Preise. Kommt, Leute.
Imagine. He even threatened me when I called the guard.
Tools and iron tools.
Spare a coin?
Come and take your pick. New wares.
Here.
Come and take a gander. We've got it all.
Careful.
Christ! Pardon me. Bottles, pictures,
bless.
fine.
But I'm the one that gets abused. Pots here, twice fired. God grant you.
I apologize.
Fruit juice, fresh juice here.
Goodman Havel. May I?
Do I know you, good man?
No, I don't believe so. But I'd like to speak to you.
Aha! What can I do for you, good man?
When I asked where I should go in this city for good wine, your inn was recommended.
You've come to the right place. You won't find better wine in this city. Have you come from far away?
Very far, Goodman. I'm Henry, and I rarely hear my name spoken in my native tongue.
If you don't mind me asking, where have you come from? It's not customary to be armed in my inn.
Aye. people?
I did a lot of travelling in Italy, from north to south.
Wonderful. It's not often. It'd be nice to have someone to discuss the drink of kings with.
An invitation I can't refuse.
Well, good man, how shall we begin our tasting? Ah, I know. How about a little white to begin with?
Excellent.
So, what do you say to that?
Hints of vanilla. That's uncommon. And I have to say, that greenish spring colour is perfect.
You're right. A rare flavour and colour tone. It's essentially a lighter wine. I like it because it's suitable for many occasions. When I don't know what to serve, I pull out a Moravian white. My father-in-law loves it. He'll be a blessed 70 years old this year, so I'm giving him a few casks to make his old age a little merrier.
That's very kind of you.
There's nothing but misers in this town. They wouldn't think twice about taking their own mother's last piece of bread. I'm not like that. Do I have money? Of course. But I don't hoard it. I try...
And you're treating me to this wine. You're a real Samaritan, like it says in the Bible. You give drink to the thirsty.
Anyway, let's have a cup of something else.
My thoughts exactly.
What shall we... Ah, I know. Let's have some red. How about a young Blaufränkisch from Austria? Or as we call it in Bohemia, Blue Frankovka.
From you, Goodman, anything. Pour away.
Quite a decent vintage.
A bit bitter for my tastes. But you said it's a young Blaufränkisch. I'm getting notes of black currant. The colour is dark, almost purple, but as it should be.
Yes, the colour enchants me every time. Almost like drinking from an inkwell.
Oh, I've never drunk ink. Would you recommend it?
My grandfather used to say, you won't know till you've tried it. He lived and died by that saying.
Uh-huh. What happened to him?
Well, the poor fella suffered from ulcers. So one day, true to his favourite saying, he tried drinking spirits to cure himself. Burn the canker, he said. Well, he burnt it so thoroughly, he was dead in a week. God rest his soul.
To your grandfather, and his contribution to advancing the knowledge of medicine.
Tell me, good man, what's regarded in your country as the most prized Italian wine?
Definitely Vinsanto. A sacred wine. It's a straw wine from Tuscany. But it's still dry, and they say it works miracles.
Ah, every wine can do that, good man. It loosens men's lips and women's legs. Ha!
Ah, true. Good health.
Well then, let's move on to the next one. After all that quality stuff, let's refresh ourselves with something simpler. Would you like a Hippocras?
Certainly. The better ones will go straight to our heads. And I'll admit, I do like it from time to time.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It's not easy to make a good Hippocras. Mine has an unusual ingredient in it. Let's see if you can tell what it is.
Very nice. I'd say it's mint?
Precisely. It gives a nice freshness, wouldn't you say? And there's a garden full of it right behind the tavern. I don't know where to put it all.
But it's missing some kick. I reckon your cook forgot to add something. Ginger. It's missing ginger.
But of course. The cook told me they didn't have any at the market. You have a refined tongue, good man. I'll give you that. After that Hippocras, we should have something more high class. I've got a rare Hungarian wine from Eger. Very strong and very sweet.
Bring it on. This is no time.
My thoughts exactly. So what do you think? Good, isn't it?
Very strong. Matured in an oak barrel, undoubtedly. Colour is excellent as well. A crimson red. The smell is heavy, spicy, almost suffocating. I have to admit, I haven't had much Hungarian wine, but maybe I should change that.
I drank this particular wine from Eger at a banquet held to celebrate the new city council. Hungarian government, Hungarian wine, and Hungarian delicacies. I was so looking forward to enjoying some nice Hungarian sausages or pate, but I ended up leaving disappointed.
How so?
They started bringing out melons, apples, plums, and all sorts of other fruit. And finally, they served fish. I don't eat fish, and fruit makes me burp. So I went hungry at a feast.
Well, that's very unusual. Fruit, fish, and red wine.
I was so disappointed that I wanted to make myself something at home to get rid of, but I was so drunk that I fell asleep. The housekeeper woke me up. The porridge was charcoal. The kitchen was like a smokehouse. And, well, that's Hungary checked off the list.
How about something local? I noticed there were vineyards.
But of course, we have vineyards and grapes from Burgundy that Emperor Charles himself had brewed. The local vintners grow some fine grapes. But the local stuff gets diluted a lot. They flavour it with all sorts of shit.
Don't tell me you don't have a drop of anything local that would be worth trying.
Well, there's the monastery secret. A wine from the Sedlets Monastery. My cousin Jerome is the...
Why is it called secret?
Taste it, and you'll see.
Interesting. There's no trace of any flavour that shouldn't be there. Neither honey nor spices. Just the pure taste of wine. But there is something to it. Something I don't recognise.
That's it, good man.
Is that the secret?
Exactly. The monks add a secret ingredient to the wine.
A secret ingredient? How do you know that?
Like I said, my cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard. and I handle their supply. Sometimes I bring food for the workers, new barrels, and from time to time, I bring them a sealed crate. Jerome didn't want to tell me what's in it. But when I insisted, he told me it's some kind of incense.
Really? I've never...
Neither have I. But like I said, the chest was sealed and the whole thing...
A real monastery secret.
I'm glad you like my wine. After all, I've offered you everything worth trying, but you're welcome to stay in my tavern as long as you like. It's rare to meet someone who...
I enjoyed your company a lot, too.
Farewell, and if you decide to extend your...
Definitely.
Prices! Fine wares! Have your senses yet? I'm telling you, Conrad
Greetings to you.
No one stands a chance against him. Careful. Because he's in league with the devil. His name is... Bless you.
Greetings. God be with you.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that.
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead, then.
Quality goods, the finest ware.
I'm glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Something's missing.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you'd better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a
Well, no. But I never heard about...
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king.
Where can I find the...
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisen...
Who's this boy?
Franter's his name. Franter Cooldown. He's an idler and a booze... Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission. Otherwise, you won't...
What would work on him?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do...
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we both...
God be with you. What are you doing, you whistler?
But... He's run off again, the little beast.
Ow! You almost ran me over.
Easy, good horse.
Are you blind?
Whoa!
I have to warn you about the greatest evil and danger on God's earth, men's cruelty handled. God bless. Huh?
Dyed broadcloth, beautiful colours, striped... What do you need? Needles, thread, pins, silk thread.
Nothing, I suppose.
Finest wear, quality goods.
Careful.
What are you doing here? Huh?
Do your shopping here, and you're in the clear.
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your...
How long has it been since he went missing?
It will be 3 years.
Young man, could you spare me a moment of your time? Tarry a while, young man. And are you truly...
I don't know. Probably not.
Even a young mind can wallow in despondence. Know that the immortal soul inherently makes no distinction between happiness and unhappiness and nothing but inner feelings. Tell me, what...
Well, I'm quite unremarkable.
A humble, simple man. No grand ambitions.
That's the way of the world today.
All that will be left of any of us is done. What if I told you only one path leads, a path destined for those who see the light, the path of true faith, divine love, and unending humility?
What should I do?
Renounce your life of sin and accept Jesus Christ unreservedly and unconditionally. Hell is approaching, and time is running out. Repent and pray, young man. Step forth onto the path towards salvation.
Sorry, but that sounds like complete nonsense to me. Most folks pray, and no one claims to be on some sort of...
You haven't. Perhaps one day you'll remember my words. I must be off now, young. May God be with you. And the best...
God be with you too.
See you soon, my friend.
Cabbage flatbread.
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
God bless you.
Pots, strong, well-made pots.
Here they are.
The best fabric.
The finest work.
I nearly left my fingers on them for buttons.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. I'm sorry.
You may say that God created Adam, and all men in his image. So they can't be all that. Give you for it. They're the ones claiming it in crazy.
So,
why would I dob you in?
My brother.
Look, just drop it.
To talk about the inheritance.
Franta Cooldown sent me.
Franta's not coming?
He got poisoned. He's writhing in agony. By turns, praying and...
Oh, Latin... We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will... So, have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's... You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap? Without a tunic, you're no roy... And have you forgotten your hose? You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your... You don't want to be dragging a load if... The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come...
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you. You've got to wait. A tune. You can put your steel aside in front of the... You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around table. Everything as it should be. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like...
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice.
I should certainly help. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short... Behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and you'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table, white to Caib or red monastery.
White or red, by the door to the chapel.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted. We can't allow that to...
All right. Sir...
And if the king himself wants wine... You pour for him with lowered...
To stay in the background and keep...
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants. Understood?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the... But I'm sure that's not going to happen.
I've got something...
Something more important than the... If you need to go for a piss or get something to eat, off you...
Here I am.
Let's have a look. You've got a You don't want everything? Do you know what you have?
I know everything I...
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait...
Of new weapons. Unversüchlich. Our current Waffen
There are the pictures of
is a
wife.
joke. And on top of that,
Hopefully I
the
won't
army
splash
was
anyone's
requisitioned
shoes.
From it.
Hey, boy,
should the town
full cup
reserve
of
have
monastery
worse
work.
weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I apologize,
What
sir.
are you getting at?
Which one?
Red.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
Sir?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a
Thank you,
gunsmith.
waiter. What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott.
I'm sorry.
It is eine Schande
I
when
wasn't paying
outlaws
attention.
have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is.
Waiter, get me
the
white.
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
I apologize, sir.
And who is it you want to
Which
fight?
one?
Exactly.
White.
The
Tokai.
merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection.
Sir?
Isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here
Thank
forever.
the Lord.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
I
We can
apologize,
always
sir.
confiscate the property of the king's
Tokai.
enemies.
That's the
Nicht
white.
wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a
Sir?
preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind.
I'm sorry.
Vielleicht?
I
I'd
wasn't
like to
paying
report
attention.
to the Honourable Council on the cleanliness
Better
of the
leave the
city
wine here.
and the
Come
state
here,
of the public
friend.
baths.
And bring that red with you.
Brothels.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not
I'd like to
what it
oblige,
should be.
but I'm not
Current
allowed.
baths in the city fall
You can
far
keep that
short of
slop.
covering all the citizens'
I'm
needs.
the biggest wine connoisseur in town.
woman named Betty has showed up on Hopring.
Is everything all right?
No, but there's nothing you can do
She's
about
a
it.
protege
Come
of Marish.
closer.
Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ul. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, go and get it. And don't you...
Where can I find...
Use your eyes and come right...
Free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths. Unless
Nice.
the Lord wishes to
Whose
punish the
silver might
wickedness
this be?
going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But
We don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
So, did you find...
I did.
Not so loud. And now go back to your...
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
I'm sorry.
He can hate all he wants,
I wasn't paying
as long as he
attention.
does no damage.
Hey, waiter!
Ulrich,
pour me some
what have you got
monastery
to say
wine.
about it?
Me? Well,
I apologise, sir.
I'm not sure
Which
what
one?
you're-
Monastery
Bullshit.
red.
You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself.
Monastery wine. Here.
Me? I beg your pardon.
Careful.
I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Well, thank the Lord.
Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then...
I'd like to learn. There's no time for it.
Leave nothing out.
Like Rutard.
I'd like
true,
some
but
white.
In this case, it really was nothing.
Everyone
I
in the
apologise,
city
sir.
gossiped about it.
Which wine?
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him. And
Are they
soon.
only just pressing
Unless
the
he puts
graves
an
for
end
the
to us
Tokai?
first.
Sir?
God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's
Thank you,
no point in
waiter.
dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this,
Hey,
the
boy,
rabble in the
a
city
full
will
cup
go
of
wild and
monastery
do whatever they
wine.
want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous.
Come now, waiter.
whatsoever.
I wanted red.
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof.
Sir?
We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just
hang
leave
around
it
me.
be?
Vanish,
Proven
you hear me?
offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more
As you
pressing
wish.
matters to deal with.
Sir
More
Ulrich?
pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole
apologise.
town is
Refill,
already
sir.
laughing at
Do you
us
think I come
all
to the
day
council
long.
just to guzzle wine?
So what
Come
if they
here.
have one more reason?
My word.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I can't just get up and walk out.
All right.
I knew I could, while you're at it, count how many figures on the mural.
But
Because I'm bored. And because...
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
that was was easy enough, and he wanted me to count the winged figures.
So, let's see what...
I found your glove.
Really? And did you count those...
I counted 24.
And you counted correct, so you can have a bit of fun in the...
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or a fuck's sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Well, naturally.
Don't interrupt.
I go to your tavern almost every day.
Really? Then you must have decent wages to be able to visit the best tavern in town regularly.
There's a war going on. Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if
Why?
I put...
I'd like Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha!
I
think not.
Are you deaf or something?
Excuse me.
Wine.
You wanted to
White,
buy
sir.
yourself an altar in the cathedral. Just like you bought yourself a seat in this
Good.
council.
Now run
How
along.
dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
Hey, waiter, pour me some
People
Tokai.
from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is
I apologise, sir.
Because it
Which
has
wine?
all been
Tokai.
sorted out.
That's the white.
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Boy, are you deaf or something? Wine.
Sir?
White. Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rutard.
Azonal Gyurcsák össze, a legjobb katonákat, és kelkinek útra!
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this banner falls!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress. Again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujitz parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to... Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to heart. He's got more fairy tales than my old...
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but besides, he defended Kuttenberg. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe?
What can I say?
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a...
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner, but I suppose I'll have to introduce myself.
Indeed you should. After all, you...
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer...
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of... And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see every...
Because we all need to help each other. And why would they not stare when you are free?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom. You have men and weapons. We have the...
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what...
Everything in good time, Sam.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help give...
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have...
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Kobyla, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, friend.
Mark my word, finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arrêt. I am a warrior, a traveler, a...
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I...
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. Where have you been on your travels?
But of course! If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant and if you are interested in my greatest deed, then...
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Bonnie...
You say you're a poet?
Jamais! Is poetry nothing but I think not? To recite a
How did you end up...
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. And only lost it...
That needs some explanation.
Oh, misère.
You quite...
Ah, this Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farm hands. Do tell me about it. No doubt you fought...
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the prison.
Then, what are you doing here?
The law... How come almost no...
I am operating, as they say. My great benefit is my strong connect there. Everyone knows my name.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids, and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the Council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp...
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he
can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to... For the plan to work, we need allies. Their money and their determination. We just need negotiators who'll push the...
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing...
You've got an
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
Why are you doing all this?
Because I want to put a stop to the sense, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, if you can get those 3 on us. Meanwhile...
Why me?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. There aren't many like you.
What if it doesn't?
I refuse to even consider that outcome.
Tell me a bit more about those people.
Certainly.
Botchek of...
That's just the thing. He's got massive... He doesn't play the big game. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up...
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he?
He still is. The only one who... Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guild.
Anna of Waldstein.
Wenzel Bartosz. And
I was quite surprised to see her here.
A male affair? Anna is holding back and behaving like an exempt... But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she's
And what use can she be to us? Apart...
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows there are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz, and that it was thanks to her.
I'll get on it then.
I wish us both luck.
Success.
even butchering, and he's a great lord.
God bless.
Leave. God be
Martin
with you,
likes
friend.
to exaggerate. He was talking about sorry nags even when they belong somewhere.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to...
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that.
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly, but they wouldn't dream of stating them. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein...
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this...
Not only for people, but also for good food.
Then you're in the right place.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. So, to the point.
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to...
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help?
It's not only you're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take...
Then I'd be helpful if you want me to support you. You must give me...
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong...
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers, I'm supposed...
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between...
You were dealing with the enemy?
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear.
I'm supposed to...
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them.
And the papers I'm supposed...
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared with...
Have you fallen out with the...
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. They're disappointed that I dared, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their...
All right, I'll help you.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom.
But don't you worry. I'll teach her a lesson too.
And what if you were to explain to him that he should go and fuck himself?
Quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, unlike this pack.
Young Lord Capon is finally...
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he... But if not, war...
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean, a proper one.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing.
Have you got something against them?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mark, and they think that can turn...
But surely they're not all like that.
Allies or not, someone ought to...
What do you think of...
Are you testing me? Job's called this assembly...
To turn out well for some, are up to their elbows in silk.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And it?
Godwin, we didn't have much time for conversation on the way here.
With pleasure, sir. Has it... What are you expecting from...
Well, but, all going well, we may be able to, as long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual...
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to...
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, it doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! I couldn't help but notice your son has...
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd been.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though
May God grant him it.
Good day to you. God be with
What brings you here? Don't you want to... God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and...
God forbid. But standing...
Not really.
I left something behind in the shed, and now I...
Is that so? And what are you after?
Oh, just a wee gift for Lord Odorin.
The younger or the elder?
Do you think there are two lords of Raborsh?
All right, all right. Go.
Your trip, our journey itself.
Mind where you're going.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you what?
And you might not believe your eyes when... Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sasau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating. Like
me? Exaggerating? You're horse wandering around as...
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe...
You're dishonoring your...
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me, and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.